Hi, group number ones. Welcome to this week's reading. This week we are doing a spread for loneliness. This is a spread that popped out to me out of my collection of spreads this week because there's just been a lot going on. And I know that that loneliness is just being part of being human. Even if you are in like the best relationship of your life, there's still going to be moments, or you have the best family ever, there's still going to be moments where it feels lonely to be you. So it's something that every one of us can relate to, from the meekest of us, to the kings of us, let us just start, okay? So group number ones, this is the card that drew you guys in. I keep thinking it's a unicorn, but it's not. She has like a mane here, not a horn, but she's beautiful. This is a horse by a waterfall with butterflies and mushrooms. So you guys might be my optimists, my group number ones, especially since the topic of our reading is so somber. And that's the card that your guides flipped out for you. You guys might be my optimists. But so for this reading, there's only 3 cards. It's very simple. It's a lot of tarot spreads do use like 3 cards, like past, present, future, or like mind, body, spirit. Those kinds of 3 card pulls are sometimes the most effective. Sometimes we can really just confuse ourselves with too many cards. So we're going simple today. So let's do it. So the first card, the question is, what part of me feels lonely? Card 2 is, what is the loneliness? What is this lonely? Man, lonely is a hard word to say. Okay. What is this loneliness here to teach me? And card 3, how can I resolve this feeling independently? So this spread is actually from one of my favorite podcasts called The Tarot Diagnosis. I'm not really sure which episode this one featured on, but yeah, if you want to learn more about tarot and how it relates to human psychology, I would definitely recommend that podcast because they are great, they are sweet, they are blunt, and they teach you a lot about a lot of things. So this card wants to come out. And one more, please. Wow, that one is like raw. Okay, so we have 3 cards for you guys, my group number ones. Let's do it. So card number 1, this card talks about what part of me is lonely. And we have the 8 of Earth, which is the 8 of Pentacles in this deck. I think you can see it a little better in there. The 8 of Earth, I'm going to read to you what it says at the bottom. It says, skilled work is rewarded. Learning all there is to know about a topic, going back to school. So this could be talking about a couple of different things. We could be talking about pursuing our dreams is a lonely pursuit. Pursuing that which we want to be good at can be lonely. Can feel like I'm drowning in a bunch of information and I don't understand and I feel a little lost. So that could be a part of it. The other part of it could be, because the 8 of Pentacles really talks about mastery, it could be talking about how sometimes when you master something, you can become the top of whatever you were striving for. It can be very lonely at the top. It can be isolating. You feel like you can't talk to the people you used to talk to because now you're their boss or something, or the people that you used to talk about important things to will no longer understand what you're dealing with, so you feel like not able to discuss these things with the people you're used to talking with. So yeah, it could be this feeling of, I've worked so hard. It could also be a feeling of like, I've worked so hard for so long on this one thing, and now I've achieved that thing. So now what? You're looking up from your desk and realizing that everybody else in the classroom is somewhere else. You know what I mean? It's that feeling of, I was so absorbed in this one goal that I don't know where to go from here. It's like having your whole personhood wrapped up in one thing, and now that the one thing is no longer there, or no longer like you've achieved it, like you don't have to strive for it anymore, it feels very empty. So there's quite a few possible interpretations for this. So there's all the options. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. What I mean by that, if you're somebody who's not into tarot, it just means like, not every single thing that comes out of my mouth might be meant for you. It might be meant for somebody else. So if you don't feel one of those many interpretations that I gave, then it's probably not for you. It's probably for somebody else. But if you really like heard my words and were like, whoa, yep, that's me, like that, then take that, because that's meant for you. So the part of you that is lonely is this part that has achieved something, or that is trying to achieve something. Which makes sense that you guys got this like optimist card, really. Because you are striving for something, and like, or we're striving for something. So like, maybe you feel like you should be happier about it and you're not. Yeah. So this next card, we talk about, what is this loneliness here to teach me? And the card we have for you guys is the 9 of Air. This is a unicorn card. I'm going to read to you the bottom once I let you guys look at it for a little. So this is the 9 of Air, and it says, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. So this is the 9 of Swords, in case you're more familiar with the symbols than you are the elements. But so this loneliness is here to teach you a couple of things. One, there's a tendency within you to expect the worst, to think, if you're somebody who's striving for this, like you haven't achieved this yet, you're afraid you're never going to achieve it. So your loneliness in like studying, in attempting something, in working towards something, a big part of that loneliness is that you're afraid that you won't achieve it. Maybe there's some fear here that like, if I share my goal with somebody, if I share my dream with somebody, then that person is going to be like, that's dumb. Or like, you're going to share your dream with them and then fail at it, and then that person will no longer respect you or think of you as awesome or whatever. Like, you're afraid, you're putting a bit of loneliness on yourself because you're afraid if you don't achieve this thing, then other people will leave you for it. But the ones who really care won't. Like, they're going to try and help you through it. That's like the whole point of friendship. But so that's one message here, and the other message here is like, is talking about self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're somebody who's already achieved this, like you're the master of the thing and you're on the top, you're feeling lonely at the top, I feel like the thing is trying to tell you to be aware of self-fulfilling prophecies. You might feel lonely at the top because you have sectioned yourself off. you have said that nobody would understand what you're going through because you're at the top. And so because you've said that to yourself, you don't tell anybody, so nobody can understand because you don't tell anybody. See how that's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy of like, nobody will understand, so you don't tell anybody, so nobody understands. Right? So this loneliness is here to teach you, like, hey, reach out, is what I'm feeling here. It's like you aren't alone. It might feel lonely studying by yourself or like doing the long, hard nights, but there are means of finding people who want to see you succeed. And there are people in your life that would be happy to listen to you in those hard times where you think nobody would understand. And even if they don't understand, them being with you in that moment of loneliness is, better than being alone. Does that make sense? Like, just because they might not understand doesn't mean they can't support you. So I think the fear, the loneliness is here to teach you that you have a lot of fear around opening up to people. So, the last card we have for you guys is, how can I resolve this feeling independently? And we have the Nine of Water. So this is the Nine of Cups. She's a mermaid. So this is the Nine of Cups, and she says, your wish comes true, concerns fade away, a love of life. Yeah, 2 9s, 8, 9, 9. That's fun. I wonder if those numbers are important to anybody. Anyway, so I think this is going back to this self-fulfilling prophecy thing a bit of like, you're wishing you weren't lonely in your study, in your drive for success. But if you get over your fear of opening up to other people, you'll find that there's lots of other people striving for success. There's a lot of other people striving to make it through the day. There's a lot of people who feel just as lonely as you do. And like, just knowing that part of it can sometimes really alleviate our loneliness of like, oh, I'm not the only one having trouble with this curriculum, or I'm not the only one having trouble with this way of living. Like, just the knowledge that there are other people out there that are feeling the same things you are feeling can sometimes be a relief of like, oh, thank God. Like, I am not alone. I am human, and that is okay. Also, as we learn to heal our old wounds that may have stopped us from opening up to people in the past, we will find that we're able to open up to people. And as you open up to people, your loneliness becomes less, because obviously you are finding like souls. You're finding connection. Not every connection's going to be amazing, but the more we open up to the world around us, the more connections become available to us. So yeah, I feel like it's talking about like really working on our inner dialogue with ourselves and the stories we tell ourselves about other people, because it seems like there's a story we're telling ourselves that nobody would understand, when there definitely are some people out there that would understand. So yeah. All right, last but not least, my group number ones, what I'm going to do for you is get you one card out of my Heart of Fairy Oracle, and that's going to be your reading, all right? So let's do it. And I'm not saying that your wish of not being lonely in this spot is going to come true just like out of nowhere. Like you have to put the effort into confronting your own wounds around the fear of opening up to people. And that's, that's just how it is. So yeah, if you don't put the work in yourself, to understand and forgive yourself and love yourself even in the midst of being human, like, it's going to be harder. Not impossible, but harder to connect with other people. So the card that we have for you guys is card 13, the Speaker of Truth. We get this card a lot on this channel. There he is. Card 13, the Speaker of Truth. All right, let me read this to you out of the book. The Speaker of Truth. Trust, acceptance, open heart. Card 13. In Fairy, many of the individuals we meet can be tricky. They will tell you a lie as blithely as tell you the truth. It is in their nature. This beautiful man is the Speaker of Truth. Like Thomas the Rhyme, he cannot lie. When something needs to be told, when a question needs a truthful answer, he will always speak, going to the heart of the matter and telling you what he has found. It may not be what you wish to hear, but it will be truthful. He can be trusted when you need someone to trust. When the Speaker of Truth appears, ask him the question you need a truthful answer to, and be willing to accept that answer. It won't always be easy, but when he turns up, it means that somewhere within you, you are seeking the truth. So open your heart to him as he opens his heart to you, and truly hear what he speaks. Well, that's all I'm seeing for you guys, my group number ones. I hope you guys have a blessed everything. Please like, comment, and subscribe. That helps me out so much on this channel. I will see you all next week. Thank you for watching. This was Pan. Bye, you guys.